From the very outset of the Biden administrations, we focused on reinvesting in and reinvigorating our alliances, and nowhere has the strength and vibrancy of that strategy been on display more than in the Indo-Pacific, and especially with Japan. The two leaders, President Biden and Prime Minister Kishida, have met nearly a dozen times over the past 3 years in Tokyo and Washington and in cities around the world. And this official state visit will build on the immense progress between our two nations that we've made towards creating a safer and more secure Indo-Pacific, as well as mutual prosperity for our peoples. Over the course of the visit, the President and the Prime Minister will highlight the high ambition of our alliance. Yes, in the defense and technology space, but also across the board, deepening our partnerships on space, technology, economic investment, fighting climate change, coordinating global diplomacy, and strengthening our people-to-people ties. They will announce measures to enhance our defense and security cooperation, to enable greater coordination and integration of our forces, and ensure that they're optimally postured and linked to other like-minded partners. Following the important visit that Prime Minister Kishida is initiating this evening and that will carry through tomorrow, President Biden will welcome President Marcos of the Philippines to the White House on Thursday for his second bilateral meeting at the White House in as many years. President Biden will also host the first ever trilateral leaders summit between the United States, Japan, and the Philippines. The U.S., Japan, and the Philippines are three closely aligned maritime democracies with increasingly convergent strategic objectives and interests. Just this past week, our three countries and Australia held joint naval drills in the South China Sea. The three leaders will announce new initiatives to enhance energy security, economic and maritime cooperation, partnerships on technology and cybersecurity, and joint investments in critical infrastructure. And with this first ever Leaders Trilateral, we're continuing to deepen our cooperation with our closest partners to ensure what we've talked about many times from this podium and elsewhere, a free, open, and prosperous Indo-Pacific.
Welcome. Thank you very much.
I can't remember another time when the U.S. and Japan were more closely aligned on a whole range of issues, whether it's issues related to China, to North Korea, other challenges in the Indo-Pacific, economic issues, including economic security issues, and then other global issues as well. So I think that's the context for this visit, one in which I'm sure President Biden will want to really showcase the progress in the relationship. Because state visits are so rare, they really reflect the priorities of the president. Of the 5 state visits, 4 of them have been with Indo-Pacific partners, right? So Japan now, prior to that, it was Korea, India, Australia. So all of the Quad members plus South Korea. And I think that reflects the administration's focus on the Indo-Pacific as a priority area. So I think the message to China is that the U.S.-Japan alliance is strong and getting stronger, that it's more and more able to respond quickly to crises, that the U.S. and Japan are more deeply aligned strategically than ever before, and that therefore China should not miscalculate and somehow conclude that, that there are differences between the United States and Japan that they can exploit.
有关言论罔顾事实、颠倒黑白、煽风点火、用心险恶，中方对此强烈不满，坚决反对。我要强调，美英澳建立的所谓三边安全伙伴关系，本质上是通过基于小圈子的军事合作，挑动阵营分裂和军事对抗，是典型的冷战思维，加大核扩散风险，加剧亚太军备竞赛，破坏地区和平稳定。 中方和许多地区国家都对此表示严重关切和反对。美英澳都不是南海问题的直接当事方，不应干预有关当事方通过谈判协商等方式解决争端的努力。近期南海局势紧张，地区对抗加剧，与美方拉拢盟国的所作所为脱不了干系。